Hello guys, welcome back to another video. So it turns out that we recently just hit 1,000 subscribers. So to celebrate this milestone, a little bit ago I set up a little poll to see a potential video for a 1,000 sub special, and it turns out that a Q&A won out the vote. It's going to be a pretty short one, but I'll probably do another one in the future. So let's get started with the video, and once again, thank you for 1,000 subscribers. Our first question for today would be, what's your favorite steam locomotive? I would probably have to say like the Reading 2102 or the nickel plate 765. Because honestly, the Reading one looks so cool, especially when like the Iron Horse Rambles excursion. And I also like the nickel plate road. In fact, I'm looking forward to catching that nickel plate road heritage unit from Norfolk Southern, so I don't know when it will come up here. I don't even know if it's going to come up here anytime soon, but if it does, I'll make sure to get a nice video of it. I got a little off topic, not going to lie, but I'd have to say the Reading 2102 for my favorite steam locomotive. All right, so our second question is going to be the best SD60E with ACSES. For me, it's a tie down between 6959 and 6957. The reason why I like 6959 is because of its 80s style K5LA air horn. Here's a sample. Of course, I liked the K5LA of 6959. However, back in the day, you used to have a bit of a better horn. That horn being a Leslie RS5T. Unfortunately, I don't have any videos of it with the RS5T because by the time I started recording, some goober might have stolen it off. At least that's what I heard. So then Norfolk Southern just replaced it with the K5LA and called it a day. Now let's move on to the second SD60E that I like. That being number 6957. Now I like 6957 for the same reason why I like 6959. It has a Leslie RS3L, but it kind of sounds a little bit weird. Here's a sample. Fortunately enough, however, more recently it started sounding more proper. Actually started two-toning since it's been going off one tone for the better part of like over a year. So here's a sample of its beautiful two-tone. So to answer the question, best SD60E has to go to 6957. Mainly because it's RS3L, and also I've seen it with some pretty neat locomotives. More recently in the month of May, those being NS 1800, and NS 8114. Moving on to the next question. What's your favorite train? It's a tie between the grain trains and the Toys for Tots train. The grain train always has some nice power included with it. Like in this video here, it's got not only BNSF in it, but there's also a Ferromex SD70 ACE trailing to a 4. The neat thing about these grain trains is that they always feature distributed power units, or DPUs for short. With this train, that would be an ES44C4 and an SD70 ACC. As much as I like the grain trains, the Toys for Tots train has to be my favorite, mainly because of the unique rolling stock as shown in this video. Next up, we have 3 questions. Those being my favorite railroad, my favorite song, and how many heritage units I've seen. My favorite railroad has to be the good old Burlington Northern and Santa Fe. I like the BNSF because of their unique paint jobs. Those being the War Bonnets and Fake Bonnets, Heritage 2, and Heritage 3. The second question I don't really have an answer for, mainly because my taste in music is somewhat all over the place, so I don't really have like a favorite song. And for the third question, I've seen at least about 40 or 50. I'm not gonna lie, I lost count, but some of the companies include Norfolk Southern, the New York Susquehanna and Western, New Jersey Transit, the Metro North Railroad, Amtrak, and CSX. I could be forgetting a company, but that's besides the point. So yeah, overall, that's like around the 40 to 50 range. Let's move on to our last set of questions. The first one says, why do certain cars get mixed within other railroads? Pretty much every other rail car gets mixed with each other, and it's mainly through agreements and leasing. That's kind of why you'll see, let's say, a UP auto rack on the Norfolk Southern train, or even those run-through grain trains. To answer the second question, the reason why the distributed power units are taken off is because the Berkshire and Eastern supplies the train with power. The grain trains can have up to 4 to 5 locomotives on the point, so that means the DPUs aren't really needed. Therefore, in Mechanicville, they're taken off, putting on an extra manifest that'll head to Binghamton, and then from there, they'll be switched on to a different train to head back to Illinois, where Norfolk Southern and BNSF share Cicero Yard. To answer the third question, locomotive orientation is more random. In Ayer, Massachusetts, there's a place where locomotives can be rotated, similar to what's shown on the screen, so it doesn't really matter how a locomotive is arranged. And that will conclude our Q&A session. Once again, I would like to thank the channels that participated and helped me reach 1,000 subscribers. I hope to see you guys soon in another video. Goodbye.